Thank you. By roll call, a quorum has been established. Next is the approval of the agenda, and I do want to let the council know that the agenda that's out for the public and the one that you were just given tonight had some ordinance numbers missing from the original one. That's, nothing changes that the ordinance numbers are added onto. A little easier to follow. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor by roll call vote?
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderman Wilcher? Aye. Alderman Perry?
Aye.
Agenda has been approved. And we have 3 orders of old business which were tabled from the last meeting. And the agendas do have the attachments of all the bills being proposed tonight so that they will not have to be read in their entirety. But the city clerk will present each one from the podium. If you will now please present bill number 1418.
Bill number 1418, ordinance number 1766. An ordinance amending the city code for the city of Mountain View, Missouri by adding section 24.300, establishing a code of ethics for the Board of Aldermen of the city of Mountain View, Missouri in order to govern the conduct of council members and other city officials.
Is there a motion to approve bill number 1418 to become ordinance number 1766?
You have a right to ask a question?
After we get a motion and a second, then we'll have discussion. If there's no motion, then it will be removed with no action. Will you please present bill number 1419?
Bill number 1419, ordinance 1767. An ordinance repealing resolution 22-05-17 and amending the city code for the city of Mountain View, Missouri by adding sections 24.185, adopting a rules of order policy for city council members, council committees, boards, and commissions of the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Is there a motion to approve bill number 1419 to become ordinance 1767?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Yes. I would like to speak of this. I did a little research on this. And it's got Rosenberg's Rule of Order. There's absolutely thousands of towns across the United States, hundreds in the state of Missouri, that use Rosenberg's Rules of Order. It's nothing unusual. It's nothing out of the ordinary. And in fact, if you actually Google it, you will find that the University of Missouri at Columbia used it for their Board of Governors. If you want to check, the city of Houston uses it. Mountain Grove uses it. And in fact, in some form or another, the government of the state of Missouri also uses it. Hence, House Speaker of the House. You must address the Speaker of the House in order to speak to the legislative branch. So there's nothing really unusual or underhanded or anything about this. And I've read through this probably 4 times and did research. My vote will be for such.
Well, and the Rosenbergs was under a resolution instead of the ordinance. That is why it was repealed, because it was the resolution. The ordinance is written using Robert's Rules of Order.
Robert's Rules of Order, yes, excuse me.
And I do want to bring up the fact that back in February and March of 2024, there was an investigation by an outside counsel, and their last recommendations that they gave to the council at that time, I'm going to read these 5, since we are discussing this. To update the employee manual, adopt an ethics policy for the council and make sure it includes what the punishment will be for breaking the policy. Make it mandatory for elected officials to attend training. Do not resume the town hall meetings. Create an ordinance governing meeting conduct by members of the public. This would include everything from setting rules on public comment and question to establishing a specific media table for anyone wanting to film. The public should not be standing up to yell or ask a question or even raising a hand. Speakers should be pre-approved to speak on specific agenda items, and those items should never include employees. These policies have been developed on legal counsel and legal review and much research. We have a motion and a second.
I would like to ask one thing on this. I think our council meeting's been doing very good with our council. Are we gonna have to go to that you have to recognize us before we speak?
There are much latitude in the Robert's Rules of Order. There's shortcuts. That's just decorum of a meeting to be recognized before you speak, and that's for any meeting.
I can understand it, like in the House of Representatives, and therefore the chair recognizes a senator because there's 300 of them sitting out there, or the House of Representatives. But I was just wondering if we was gonna get down to that,
Like, I have to give you permission to speak, is that what you mean?
Yeah, be recognized to speak.
Well, I wouldn't say you have to raise your hand and be recognized for anything like that, but
Not with.
we
four,
can't
but
all talk at the same time.
I think we
That's-
all understand that.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin?
Nay.
Alderman Yarber?
Yes.
Alderwoman Coulter?
Nay.
Alderman Perry?
Yes.
We have 2 noes, 2 yeses. The mayor will vote and it will be a yes. Bill 1419 will become ordinance 1767. And the next, it's the 3rd item, under old business, is the Family Youth Center agreement. The $7,000 that they have requested was approved in the budget. The resolution that will be presented is a duplicate from last year, as is the service agreement. And there are 2 representatives from the youth center to speak when we do have discussion. So if you will present Bill 1421.
Bill number 1421, Resolution 25-02-11. A resolution of the City of Mountain View, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Mountain View Family Youth Center for community services.
Is there a motion to approve Bill 1421?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Any discussion? or questions for the ladies from USINK?
Are they here?
Yes, there's two.
There
If you
are.
would come to the podium and identify yourself. The council has been provided an operating budget and a schedule of events that they have in front of them.
I'm Ashley Allen, I'm the board president for, I think a little over 2
If
years
you
now.
can speak into
Sorry.
the,
I'm the board president, Ashley Allen. I've been on the board for a little over 2 years and spent most of that time as the president. And I'm Lakin Doss, I'm the vice president of the board. I've been there. Lakin Doss. I've been there about the same time as the vice president, around 3 years.
do any of the council have questions for these ladies? The $7,000 that has been budgeted is limited to the electric utility bills.
So how's things going?
Going really well. I will say the $7,000 does not get us through the entire year. Just want everybody to be aware of that. It usually starts in January and it ends in October. We pay, or I'm sorry, August. We pay September through December usually. It's pretty expensive. That's our busiest time a lot of the time because we have the Liberty Winter Shootout, which is every Saturday all day, and we have practices every single night of the week. So we're, using a lot of electricity during that time. But it is going really well. We have lots of events going on, and we're hoping to keep adding more as time goes. We're looking at hopefully in the future doing some addition to the gym and extending it so that we can get some better seating options for that winter shootout. That's a big issue we've dealt with. There's just not room in that gym for much else, so we're hoping to eventually be able to add on. But overall, it's going really good. We have a really good supportive board. Actually, I have a board meeting tomorrow evening. So we just did some landscaping out in front of the building, hoping that will, grow in the springtime and make the building look a little bit nicer. So,
It looks nice out there.
Thank
since
you.
landscape. Why, and I know in June, you got on here that you're resurfacing the floor, which I understand that. But is the building open in July and August at all?
yes, it is some. The back building is open. We have to stay off the floor for, 4 weeks? I think 30 days in the gym. So we open that back building, the Rubies and Rest Event Center, we still rent it out. And as soon as we can get people back in the gym, we do. Sometimes if they're just doing basketball and stuff, we can get them in after a couple of weeks, but we can't do skating on it for 30 days.
Because I noticed last year you was closed June, July, and part of August.
Yes. Also with, I guess, vacations and stuff, our numbers drop drastically during those months. So sometimes you have to weigh out, is it worth the cost of being open as opposed to what we're actually bringing in?
Well, you get a lot of sponsored skate-free night.
Yeah, last year we had a lot more. This year we've kind of cut back on it and we're trying to do just one a month. What we found is on the free skate nights, we would have a lot of kids, and on the paid ones, we wouldn't hardly have any. And, unfortunately, to stay afloat, we rely on those skate nights that bring in a little bit more money. So we cut back on them this year, and it seemed to
On the
help.
sponsored ones.
Mhm.
So you don't make as much on the sponsored nights as,
No, skate night sponsorship is $400, which basically covers our employees for the night, the cost of just electric, if we have to pay it, water, things like that, So it's not really a profit on those nights besides if we sell concession.
does everybody go skating on that night?
Right, so we usually have between 100 to 160 kids on those nights, so it's a lot.
That's one thing I was gonna ask you. Is there any way you can give the city, county, what am I trying to say here? Of how many kids through a month that you have in there?
Mhm. Like a monthly update? or-
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we can do that.
I'd just like to see how many of our
Yeah.
children is.
Yeah, I think I'm a teacher as well, so, I've taught at the elementary and now I'm at the middle school, so I see a lot of our students come.
Good.
And, parents use it as a babysitter, they go out and do what they want to do, or But the kids are safe and they know that, you know, so it's good.
Okay, is there any further discussion or questions?
We're glad you're there.
We are too.
And this will be one reading and a roll call vote, and we have a step back to go. Okay. All in favor of Bill 1421 with roll call vote?
Alderman Martin,
Aye.
Alderman Yarber,
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter,
Hi,
Alderman Perry.
Aye.
thank you, ladies.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
down there.
1421 now becomes resolution 250211. We need to step back. We had one reading on the ordinance 1767. We need the second reading on ordinance 1767.
Bill number 1419, ordinance number 1767, an ordinance repealing resolution 22-05-17 and amending the city code for the city of Mountain View, Missouri by adding section 24.185, adopting a rules of order policy for city council meetings, council committees, boards, and commissions of the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Is there a motion to approve the second reading of bill number 1419?
Okay, motion?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin,
Nay.
Alderman Yarber,
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter,
Hi,
Alderman Perry.
Aye.
Now, bill number 1419 becomes ordinance number 1767. And we will move on to our new business. Which, number one on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from January the 14th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make that motion?
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
All in favor, please say aye.
can we discuss?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Uh,
Any discussions or questions?
On the one, on old business number one, we wanted the amended from hiring full-time seasonal for pro shop to hiring full-time pro shop, but that wasn't put in here.
The exception that was approved with the exception is in here. The issue will have to be taken up in a closed session on personnel in a future meeting.
I thought we was gonna discuss that tonight.
No. Any other questions or discussion?
Yes. On the very first page where it says new business, at the bottom of the page, that was not brought up.
No, it
Has
is
any kind of
not.
resolution or anything on that been
No,
done?
it's not on here yet because we have discovered we are going to have to audit all of our accounts. So we will wait until after the January, February, March averaging is going to be done. So sometime between May and June, we will audit and then that will be brought up at that time.
So we're removing it from the to, what'd you say, March?
Well, let's table it until July, because all the averaging is,
Yeah,
the averaging ends in June, is my
it'll have
understanding.
to be after they get their bills in June before we can audit that.
Okay, so until July. Any other questions? If not, call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Minutes have been approved with those two notations. Okay, on the department reports that you were given, the extra sheet from the library, you were just given tonight, that goes with the librarian's report. And is there any discussion or questions on these department reports?
On the sanitation department, last time we discussed about if we looked into what New or people who want to buy their own dumpsters, did we ever look into that, Eddie?
There are some that are privately owned, but looking at what the rental charge is on them, very few people are gonna wanna purchase them if they can rent them as cheap as they can rent them. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but, you know, as cheap as the dumpster rental is, I don't see somebody spending $700 to rent a 2-yard dumpster if they can rent it for $7 a month.
Well, that's on the agenda down 11 for us to discuss that, okay. Sorry, I should have brought it up then.
Okay, if there are no questions, we will go on to the claims report. There's several components to this number, but the claims report is the first item. And this is from last council meeting to Friday, the 7th. By department, let's see, a couple of things to bring out. Everything that has been paid out has been budgeted or approved already with the under $5,000, with the exception of the tipping fees that we pay every month, and we are paying on time now, so that $95.7907 has already been posted. But it is over the $5,000, so do need to ask your approval on that. And I do want to note, pardon?
What was the name on it? Oh,
The
it's in
tipping
there. Oh, I
fees?
was looking at the,
It's page 11,
thank you.
the tipping fees, which are less than they had been, but we had to audit those charges and we did get some credits. And then on page 8, I do want to, this is the MUPA bill from January, how it was broken down. The 221,000 is the power purchased, and then under other expenses is a 19,000. That's the breakdown of the relief from 2021, which is 10,608.63 each month, and the reserve fund of 8742.
each month, and that's the way it will show from now on. We did not have the MUPA bill for February at the time of the packets. You were given it this evening, which needs to be added to this, because it will be, it's an ACH every month around the 21st, and it will be coming out February the 21st.
So we've got to add the 209,000 to the 607.
Yes, and that brings us the 15th through the 7th, plus the MUPA bill. The power purchased is $271,230.33, plus the 19,000, which this is monthly between the relief and the reserve, the 19,350.63. The total for February is $290,580.96.
If I added that right, so that makes our bills 898,000.
Right, from January the 15th
Right.
through February the 7th. And as you can see, personnel services are at the top of each fund.
Can I explain to the public what tipping means on that?
The tipping fees are when our trash that is picked up here is taken to West Plains.
Yes. Yeah, as our garbage trucks get full, we have to take them to West Plains to the transfer station, unload the garbage trucks, and then bring the truck back. So the tipping fees are our charges from the transfer station in West Plains to get rid of our waste.
We pay so much a ton, don't we? Is that how we do it?
Yeah, we do. I don't know the exact dollar amount. but-
683 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's somewhere in.
It went up from last year.
Yeah.
I think it's been going up every year, hasn't it?
Yeah, they actually put it in motion where it goes up 2% per year, something like that, after this last increase, so. I could be wrong on the percentage, but it's somewhere around there.
I just kind of wanted to explain to the people out there in case they didn't know what that tipping fee was.
And the budgeted amount for the year is $114,000. Okay, and also in this financial report, you were given the account list of the Simmons Bank accounts as of Friday the 7th, which lists all the accounts that we have. And then we were given tonight the West Plains Bank. The West Plains Bank, we have one account for the Oak Street project, which is in and out for grant funds. And then the library interest off of the CD. And there's 3 CDs listed, one's the library, and then the other 2 are undesignated. The treasury for Simmons Bank is where we have our general fund, the electric fund, the payroll account, the court accounts, and then that last one that just says checking is that where we track those designated funds.
Have we got more revenue coming in shortly to bring it up to what our bills are?
Well, yeah, but you have to take into account that all of these bills have already been paid, except the ones that are scheduled, so we're
So
well
it
ahead.
is out of this.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
gotcha.
yes. I mean, you were given the comp time on all of the employees, but then that is a personnel issue, so there will be no discussion on that. Oh, okay. Any questions so far on these finance reports? The next one is the December 31st, 2024 financial summary that is required by state statute to be published in the newspaper, which it was. It's a summary of the 6-month period ending December the 31st of 2024. And I am very happy to report that our receipts over disbursements by $189,283.54.
Good.
Very good, considering that back at the end of June,
Use 300 under.
yeah, and the end of October, we were 300 under. And June, it was, but that was for 10 months that we had worked that out, was 300 under. So the last quarter of the year, we did very well.
Is all of our books caught up and balanced now?
No, there's still some, not necessarily balancing, but some reconciliation that still has to be done. But we have all the documents. That is important, and the bank statements are.
What month are they caught up to? Do you have any idea?
No, because we can't use the system that we have, we're having to do it by hand, so we have to go back. Yes, there's a lot of work still to be done. But as I said, we've accumulated the documentation so that,
Do you have a total of what it was for the year?
total what?
Oh, this is 6 months. Do you have a total revenue for the year? Total expenses, total revenue for the year?
We can look at expended year to date at 12/31 was $7,660, $7,660,001.30. That's
Read that
on
one more time, please.
the $7,660,001.30. That was the total of expenses expended year to date ending 12/24. Then the total of all revenue was $7,193,224.99. And this has not gone through total audit yet. 7,193,224.99.
Do we have plans when that audit will be?
Not yet, no, we do not. Okay, any questions on any of that? If not, the next two items are invoices, one pending and one we have. Both items have been approved previously, but these are over $5,000, so they have been brought to the council to formally ask for approval for payment. The first one is the Waste Zero invoice for the recycle bags. And this is only a half a year, and it costs $10,100. The invoice is still pending, but it should come in February, which will need to be paid upon receipt. I'm gonna add these.
We approved this back,
Oh, yes,
to purchase these.
yes, and it's been budgeted. I'm going to add 5 and 6 together. The next one is the West Tech invoice. And this is for the wastewater department, the clarifier gear, gearbox, and we had a quote back in August, which was for 2 of everything, that was $22,000. The quote was $18,000, but had a 23% increase. And the council motion to purchase one of the clarifying gear parts and approve funds to have the aerator motor rebuilt and returned to wastewater facility. That was the motion that was approved?
It was in August, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the request tonight is to approve the payment of $11,113.62. And the quote was for a long list of items. For the invoice, it says replacement pinion stack, which includes everything for this one year, which the wastewater treatment plant needs. So I asked for approval of these two.
Is this the first payment on it, or is this the last, is this the first payment on it, or the last payment?
Well, this would be the first and last, because we're only getting one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, we only purchased one, parts to fix one clarifier, the other one's still functioning. It's wearing, but, I mean, it's still functioning.
Yes.
I make that motion to approve it.
Approve both, please, yeah.
The waste zero and West Tech.
Second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor to approve payment of the Waste Zero and West Tech invoices, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Motion carries. I might note that on this same motion back in August was approved funds to have the aerator motor rebuilt and returned to the wastewater facility. We did get that back, with a few missing parts, but they found them yesterday or the day before. So our motor is back. We haven't received the parts back yet, but
Not yet.
they hadn't been able to locate.
Motor come home.
The motor come home, and, yeah, they, thanks to our wastewater supervisor, they found the parts, so.
They suddenly found them.
They did come back with the motor, or?
Yeah, they did. See, there's some wear items
Right.
that was on that motor. Well, we didn't have them. Originally, they said, yeah, we're pretty sure we took those parts. And then they come back and said, we don't think we took them parts. So supervisor contacted them and said, well, we don't have the parts. We may look to you to replace these parts. And then they found these parts, so.
Well, the motor had been gone for 2 years. Do you
Yeah.
probably remember where you put them 2 years ago?
No, they found the parts, and they're.
So we're made 2 steps forward with the wastewater treatment plant, and I'm very proud of. Okay, next, item number 7, the Heritage Park invoice, which we had budgeted the $15,000 that have been paid every year for several years. And Calvin had asked about the Jack Sport Foundation. Well, after some research, I found that it's the Mountain View Resource and Development that had been helping us pay that. And we paid our $7,500 in January, and I have received an email from Steve Bynes with the Mountain View Resources that they paid their half of the Heritage Park invoice. So we, this year, are paying $7,500, and Mountain View Resource and Development paid the other $7,500. That's an announcement. There's no action to be taken on that. Okay. The next item, number 8. Is bill number 1422 to be ordinance 1769. If Jessica, please, will present.
Bill number 1422, ordinance number 1769, an ordinance amending the implementation of new sewer charge system for the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Is there a motion to approve bill number 1422?
I would make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter?
Aye.
Alderman Perry?
Aye.
Yes. We'll now have a second reading, please.
Bill number 1422, ordinance number 1769, an ordinance amending the implementation of new sewer charge system for the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Is there a motion to approve the second reading?
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter?
Aye.
Alderman Perry?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next item is bill number 1423 to become ordinance 1770. If you will please present when you.
Bill number 1423, ordinance number 1770, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor of the city of Mountain View, Missouri to execute a state block grant agreement for the airport improvement program between the city of Mountain View and the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission.
Is there a motion to approve the first reading?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I would like to advise that the project description is for removal and replacement of joint sealant and small repair on concrete pavements, crack sealing, repair of cracks and seal coat, and remarking of airfield pavements. There are two buckets of money that the MoDOT FAA works out of. And their non-primary entitlement funds of 2022 and 2023 will be requested this year. And the budget projection that was in front of you shows the different pots of money. There's still some left from 2019 and 2020, and then there's 21, and both of these are at 100% funding. We are in the engineering and design phase, and what they call, this is 30% construction of the whole project. The whole project comes to something like $3 million, but it's going to be done in phases. And for the most part, this is all 100% funding from MoDOT. Some services or parts of it will have a 5% match or a 10% match, but that will be in the construction phase of it, which will come probably in 2026. Right now, we're still in the engineering phase, which back in June was when the airport improvement grant Benesh engineering agreement went into effect. This 189 pages is that engineering. Then there is another consultant agreement that goes with that, that has 80-some pages in it. And then we have state block grant agreement that MoDOT is giving us. So, no, I can't read that long. But I would. Eddie and I have met with the engineer herself. We have been on the phone with the engineer and 2 people from MoDOT. And these documents are definitely driven by MoDOT. They're available to look at in my office. If you want copies of them, then we'll work that out also. There's another stack about like that from the engineer, just back and forth emails. But the coordinates that we're asking, and we have the motion on the table.
And I asked a question on this engineering. Is this for the cracking and sealing and repair of cracks and,
The engineers for the whole project.
yeah, but what is the whole project?
The project.
It's gonna be done in phases.
Phases. This
So
is
you,
phase.
in the end, they're talking, as far as the runway goes, they're not yet sure exactly how they wanna tackle that. You could just do an overlay, you could do a mill and overlay, and they've got a process they call FDR, which basically it grinds the asphalt and it pulverizes it and it packs it, and then they lay over that. So that's for the runway itself. For the taxiway and the apron and the taxi lanes, which would take you from the taxiway to the airstrip, that's what they're looking at right now. Any, if they've got cracks that need to be, because you can just seal a crack or you can mill that out
Right.
and then fill it and then seal it. Whatever they do, they want to make sure they only have to do it once and not have to worry about it for a long time. And there is a shelf life on these funds too. Once we ask for them, we've got X amount of time to use it. And we've got funds in there that we need to hurry up and use or lose it. And it's one of the deals where you don't want to not use it if they're going to offer it to you, because if you start the habit of that, then they're probably getting the habit of not offering as much money. So if the money's out there, that we can use it to keep our runway up and running, we need to.
See, we lost some in 20, remember that?
I do, it was, what, 300,000?
300,000, it had never even been.
So it's 2 years worth, we never even applied for.
Yeah, well, they didn't go through this
Yeah,
little book up here,
yeah,
So we don't want to get back into that
no,
habit.
no.
Okay,
So
we
it's
have,
in stages.
yes.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second for the first reading. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin,
Aye.
Alderman York,
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter,
Aye.
Alderman Terry.
Aye.
We will now have the second reading of bill number 1423 to become ordinance 1770.
This is a review.
Bill number 1423, ordinance number 1770, an ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor of the city of Mountain View, Missouri to execute a state block grant agreement for the airport improvement program between the city of Mountain View and the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission.
Do we have a motion to approve the second reading?
I'll make that motion.
Second that?
Any discussion or questions? Roll call vote.
Alderman Martin,
Aye.
Alderman York,
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter,
Aye.
Alderman Terry.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carried. Okay, item number 10 is the holiday schedule, which is bill number 1424 to become ordinance 1771. If you will, please present that.
Bill number 1424, ordinance number 1771, an ordinance amending Chapter 23 of the City Code for the City of Mountain View, Missouri by replacing Section 23.180 with the following.
Is there a motion to approve bill number 1424?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? I would like to advise that the current employee manual only had 8 holidays, stated 8 holidays, and listed the Friday following November, so that would be none. That was all that the current had. What G-Works had set up was different than that 8, and then some have just been added over the years.
Is this one here, this one? Because I've got 2 that
This is
I've got.
the current one, which is being updated.
And when we redo this, I think, so we have that straight to put a date on there when it
Oh,
was revised.
Yes,
Because I've got 2 that I've got this year and then.
it's in the works as one of those longer recommendations, but
Right.
this we needed to get in place before this
The holiday.
holiday in February,
And
yes.
I asked a question about, is there a law or something, or why do we pay part-time employees holiday pay?
And there's no law because most part-time employees do not receive holiday pay.
That's what I'm asking, is there some reason why we do it? Because I just think that's,
Because it's in the handbook, but
can we take it out on this ordinance? Can we reword that?
if that is the council's decision, yes. This ordinance could be approved subject to corrections. We can have this first reading.
I just-
bring it back for a second reading, and whatever you decide.
I would agree with Judy on this because I don't think it's standard procedure for business to pay the part-time employees holiday pay. Because some of them don't even work very many hours at all.
Okay, we could table this part of the city code, which is, chapter 23 is the employee manual now. It's on schedule for the March meeting to have the employee manual. And we would only have one holiday to approve before that would be done, which would be President's Day, the 3rd Monday. So,
The other question I have on this is when we do get this approved, this will be the standard days that the employee would get every year. We wouldn't have to revisit this every year, right?
no,
Okay.
correct,
Okay.
yes,
Well, until the employee manual got redone.
Right.
all right.
When did Juneteenth go in effect, and is that a legal holiday?
2 years ago,
And it is,
That's a federal holiday.
it is a federal holiday.
But the cities are not, municipalities are not,
but Martin Luther King Day is too.
also, yes.
So do we want to take it back in there?
Well, let's, because this, if we're going to table this to be taken up at the time of the updated employee manual,
So you just want us to approve President Day for February and then table the rest of it?
yes, but we have to, we
The,
have a motion on the table in a second.
and I do have another question on it.
Okay.
The Juneteenth has June 16th, I thought it was 19th.
19?
Yeah,
Okay, we need to take care of this motion that we have on the table at this time to approve this. So the roll call vote to be, for this approval of reading 1 would be
Alderman Martin?
Are we approving just the first reading and then we,
Well, you don't have to approve it, but we've got a motion and a second,
oh,
so we have to have a roll call vote.
so we don't want it to pass, right?
No.
If we want to take this part-time employees thing out of here, then we do not want it.
If she's gonna, if we're going, if
Well,
my
I'm confused
understanding
here.
is,
Yeah.
Yeah,
excuse me, if my understanding is, if we're going to revisit this in March, we approve this and they get that holiday, which is President's Day in February.
That'll be a
And
second.
then we revisit this in March to redo this. Is that my understanding?
That's not mine, but that's,
Mayor, what the issue becomes if we don't approve it is the President's Day. Can we approve that they get the President's Day
That,
without approving this?
that would be the second part of this, yes. Right now, we're concerning the first reading. It's either yes or no, for the first reading of this bill as it's presented, okay? Can we have a roll call vote on the first reading?
Alderman Martin?
Nay.
Alderman Yarber?
Nay.
Alderwoman Coulter?
nay.
Alderman Perry?
Nay.
First reading has not been approved. Okay. Now, I am asking that the council approve President's Day, which is the third Monday in February.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that motion.
Okay, let's get that motion down. And I'll ask the city clerk, Jessica, to repeat that.
Okay. We are, the council is approving President's Day in 2025 as
Made a motion to approve President's Day in 2025.
Thank you, Judy. Alderwoman Coulter?
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter?
Aye.
Alderman Perry?
Aye.
Okay, we'll have President's Day. We will bring this back.
Do you want us to revisit that?
We'll bring it back as we will,
March?
with the update of, hopefully it will be March, that is the intention, with the update with employment, which is the whole chapter.
And the Martin Luther King Day added to it. Did you put the note in there too for that?
Attitude or just left
Huh?
out? Attitude or just left out?
Right now,
It is.
on this is still just
Yeah.
for thought that the holiday in January was used as the day after Thanksgiving. So still have a number of holidays. But again, the whole new thing will be brought back.
After Thanksgiving?
We can have 15 or 20 holidays, whatever is decided, but this issue will be addressed with the,
In March, right?
in March. Now, Bill 1425, please.
Bill number 1425, ordinance number 1772, and ordinance amending chapter 60, solid waste for the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Is there a motion to approve Bill 1425?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I would second that.
Okay, any discussion?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, we had discussed some of this last month. So I sat down. Okay, we're renting a 2 cubic yard dumpster for $7 a month. That dumpster cost new $683. It takes, I think I figured it out, almost 9 years to pay for that dumpster. And Eddie and I discussed that a little bit. By that time, it's rusted out and rotted and ready to be scrapped. That makes no sense. And all I'm looking at is the cost of the dumpster. I realize they say that $86 or whatever it is a month if they dump it every week. One of the questions that I have is, do they dump it every week? And why are they only $7? And then you turn around and you look at a 4-yard dumpster, it rents for $10 a month, but yet that 4-yard dumpster costs us $1,033 new. So at that point in time, you're looking at almost, once again, 9 years. I don't know of a business in the country that can stay in business for 9 years before they ever get everything paid for.
I'm sorry, I was just-
Is this number 9 that you were referring to on the,
Commercial customers shall have the option to purchase or lease dumpsters from the city, which is great. But at $7, there's no incentive. None. And it takes us, like I said, for $683, at 12 months a year, we're looking at $84. 8.5 years, somewhere in that neighborhood, just to pay for that dumpster. By that time, it's rotted. We haven't made any money on that dumpster at all.
okay, I would suggest, and this is a suggestion, because this ordinance was updated for the verbiage regarding the approval of the sanitation department supervisor regarding the, if the city can't provide a service, and then the system rating calculations weren't the same as what the wording was in the ordinance. So that's why this has been updated. So I would ask that, or seek approval for this, subject to this being investigated, the number 9 part, the whole ordinance being approved, and then we can come back and adjust or amend just number 9, if everything else is satisfactory.
Well, we really probably should have looked at number 7,
Okay?
because that's where we're gonna be adjusting right there. Well, how long's it been since these has went up? Did you look at that?
The dumpster rates, I've got the last several ordinances in here, so. There's 2011, 2015,
That's what I was getting at.
2022.
You can't really count that in on the cost of the dumpster. Because they're gonna dump it no matter what, whether they own it or whether they don't own it. And so it's $20 right now to get a 2-yard dumpster dumped. Now, and that's what I was asking, is if I don't know how the commercial works, and this is not clear on when they rent it, does that mean they have to dump it every week? Okay, at $7 a month,
They don't?
They don't know. When I spoke to the sanitation supervisor, he said that almost every dumpster rented gets dumped at least once a month. But there's really nothing set in stone saying, okay, if you rent one, you have to get it dumped weekly. So a lot of them are on a, like, I forget what you said, first Thursday of the month rotation. So, like, a lot of your smaller businesses may only dump once a month. You may have some other ones that dump twice a week. So, there's
Well,
nothing
we
really.
don't want to throw no extra expense on our small businesses either.
Yeah,
By
true.
making-
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was getting at, but it's $7 a month for a 2-yard dumpster. I mean, that's cheap, but I also realize that for almost, 8.5 years, we get to spend, if we have 10 of those dumpsters out there, at $7 a month, we're gonna dump it regardless. But it does,
Okay, this is still,
yeah,
another issue that we have.
sorry.
A motion and a second to approve the ordinance. We approve this ordinance to bring the rest of the verbiage up to date, or not. And then we can look at the dumpster issue if
But you're
the
saying-
council wants to approve, or increase the rate. If the ordinance can be approved as is, that's all good.
But the main thing on here just saying is so that if we can't place a dumpster,
It reads, every residential occupant or lessee receiving water or service. It's number 2.
right,
All refuse and recycle items within the city limits shall be picked up by city employees. If the city cannot provide a service requested, then the city has the option to allow outside solid waste contractors to provide the service, subject to the approval of the sanitation department supervisor. This was brought to the council's attention that there was an ordinance back in 2022, December, that never did get updated. And the other thing that changed from the previous ordinance was on number 7, the system had, like, instead of 173.32, it had 33, and instead of 259.98, it had 260. There wasn't anything in there for the 8-yard, although we do have one 8-yard, and then the 10-yard should have been 433.33. Or that should be 433.30, and it was 33 in the system, so it's just the rounding up of the calculations. That was the only changes from the previous. That as far as increasing the dumpster rental rates, that is not part of this ordinance at this time. So we have a motion on the table and a second to approve bill number 1425. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter?
aye.
Alderman Perry?
Aye.
First reading is approved. We will now have the second reading of bill 1425.
Bill number 1425, ordinance number 1772, an ordinance amending Chapter 60, solid waste for the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Do we have a motion to approve the second reading?
I'll make that motion.
For a second,
Second that.
any discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderman Martin?
Aye.
Alderman Yarber?
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter?
Aye.
Alderman Perry?
Aye.
Bill 1425 has been approved to ordinance 1772. Now, we will, if it's the general consensus of the council, bring back to the table in March the issue of the dumpster rentals.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor of bringing back the issue of dumpster rental rates? Please say aye.
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 Okay. Number 12. Bill number 1426.
Bill number 1426, ordinance number 1773, an ordinance amending chapter 26, part board of the city of ordinances for the city of Mountain View, Missouri.
Okay, you had in your packets 2024 rates, the proposal explanation of the increases, and the 2025 rates. Do I have a motion to approve the ordinance for the 2025 municipal golf course rates?
And then we just discuss what that's what we had. I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Now, any discussion or questions? I do have one thing, that the ordinance states season pass, and then it says membership fees may be paid in 3 installments. That's the season pass that need to be paid. So
Yeah, they call
that
it
one
membership
word would
fee.
have to be changed to be consistent with the ordinance.
Yeah, they consider memberships out there when they buy their.
Is there questions about the rates? There was a new one, because we did not have a trail fee previously,
Right.
and this proposed rate increase was developed by our supervisor of the golf course.
Most
So-
golf courses file a trail fee,
Okay,
and that's for people that bring their carts in from other towns and.
that's the way he explains it. A trail fee will be put in place for $5. This is for a golfer who brings their own cart and pays green fees and doesn't have a membership or cart shed
Right.
rental.
Right.
And that's common?
Yes, that's common. Everybody that every golf course I know of does that.
Okay.
And as I understand it, these are very competitive or low rates, even with the increases.
Mountain View is a lot lower than West Plains. Willa, I didn't get to check that out. There's one thing, and I see we got golfers out there, and they start throwing stuff at me, just let me know. But can't find it, okay. On the married couples, if you look at a single person,
We've got to remember also that the ordinance reads 2 people, not
married couple is what's on
Right.
that rate sheet.
Okay, so 2 people. But there is a rule in there that, they call them couples, okay? Because as long as you can prove that you live, is that still in
Whose
there?
rule is
As
that?
long as you live, huh?
This is a senior couple.
It was on these papers, because I've read it a few times, so I have to go back and get an old one out. People that live in the same household with at least one being a minimum of 60 years old.
That's-
That's in the ordinance
Oh,
itself.
yes, that's a single couple, that's why they call it couple. Okay. We'll just use that for example. Senior single and a senior couple. So that one senior is paying $400, but that couple is only paying $530. So that second person's getting to golf for $130. Bill, does that sound right to raise
Well,
it?
They're all very, compared to other courses, very affordable.
Right,
And that would definitely be super affordable, let's just put
Yeah.
it that way.
right. Right here on the
I
front
believe
page.
Ernie is here, and
Got it.
didn't, if you would come to the podium, please. I believe all memberships would go up $50, and that was the reason you applied $50 to each one of them, correct?
Except for corporate. Corporate went up
Right.
150.
Right, but, so whatever the rate was before, he added $50 to that one that you're talking about, is what I'm saying, so.
I know, but I've said this for
So are,
a couple of last year.
it needs to be,
Well, you know, do you guys think it's fair? I mean, I don't want opinions here. Don't
so
you?
see,
You want to close it down?
okay,
huh?
senior couple is 480 going up to
530.
And I think-
530, that's $50.
Right.
And so the two people one is $140 more than that.
Because the seniors get a discount. Because we're old.
Okay, the single is 560.
Well, the person took the single, cut it in half and tacked that on there.
Well,
Well, I say a senior single,
The additional would be giving the golf for half the price.
right,
Right now, it's well over half.
right. So that's what I'm saying, that instead of 400, a senior couple should be 600 instead of 530. Does that sound fair to you, Ernie?
Yep.
Because that's
Don't
another
want-
person.
he's not gonna argue with you.
I just don't want to get up too much and lose golfers.
Oh,
So,
I understand that, but we gotta make it fair. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Judy, the difference
So that-
between the single and two people is only 110.
Right.
That's even less than the 130. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Up above that.
Oh,
Yeah.
single is 560 and two people 670.
Yeah.
What is this two people? Let me explain. What is two people?
That's what's on the ordinance, two people. Now, on the sheet, it says married couple.
Oh,
So we're talking couple or senior couple is really the difference here.
Yeah.
But if you're sticking with senior at 400, and half of that is two, so you want to make senior couple 6, and then if a single is 560, and half of that,
it's 130
Is
or 230.
then it would be 790.
That's a 280.
Oh, 280, yeah.
So if you add 280 to that, then that's going to be,
That's going to put it over the
Higher than
family.
that.
right, more than the family, so,
Well, either one goes up or one
How
goes
many, how
down,
many is a
one,
family?
two.
I mean, what constitutes a family? What's a?
That's 4 people.
Man, wife, children under 18, or if they're over 18,
Oh, that could be 5
$11.
or 6 people
Is
though.
there a limit on your
There's no
children?
There's no limit. Okay.
No limit on,
So
except
if we
they
get
live
the
at
Amish,
home.
man,
That's all right, they can use the cars.
Can't,
No, we'll be
no,
welcome.
no, no.
No.
Come on, people, we can't do that.
You can't do that out there. I thought it said somewhere that the family was over only of 4.
No.
I think there may have been a year they did that in years past, but, and then they tagged it on, but it's been,
The first page.
but recent memory, it's been in the household, or, you know, how everything else is anymore, if they're going to college still, in the household. Counts as in the family.
Even if it was only 3 people, that's $300 a,
Well,
you would think that would be 900 to start there.
if you kind of looked at it, your senior single is $400. Okay. Your single, which is not a senior, we're assuming, is $160 more to start with. Okay. We're giving a break right there to a senior single. And then the senior couple is at $530. That's $130 more, but they're still not at a single price for a single under, not an old person. And 2 people is $670.
Well, and I do want to say time factor, we do need to get this approved
Right.
Right.
even with, you know, the ordinance 1426 with a correction of, and, so that these can go into effect April 1.
Well, there's people that's wanting to
Buy their season passes now, and yes, I
Because I usually
understand
pay mine the 1st of March.
that. So,
Okay,
or
let's
we
see
can
here.
leave it as this is written
Can I ask
and
Ernie
change
a
it next
question?
year.
Can I ask Ernie a question?
Sure.
Ernie, is there a reason why on the 2 people, it's only 110 difference from the single, and the seniors, it's 130? Was that just a oversight?
No, that was just a raise of $50 on each one,
Okay.
except for
Yeah, he
corporate.
just
So you
started
just
with
raised
what
it
was
Right,
last
right.
year.
$5.
I just raised it 50
Across the
from
board.
last year,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, is there any further discussion on the first reading?
One more thing I want to bring up. Down West Plains, they do it to the Country Club of West Plains. I don't know if they do it at Willem. But when people drive from out of town, and I know I golfed at the Minnesota at West Plains, and I golfed at the Country Club over there. But if you drove more than, I think it was 25 or 30 miles, you got a 10% discount on your golf fee. You'd be surprised how many people that brings to our golf course.
Well, again, that's not in this ordinance. We can vote on the ordinance and bring that issue back to the table.
But there'll be people from out of town, okay, I'll just leave it up to you guys, but
I can see that, I mean, bringing outside people into town, they're gonna be hopefully spending money elsewhere in town.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bill knows this, the country club does it, and we went there because we got a big discount. And I know there are people from West Plains that is wanting to know our fees.
And if they're gonna be the same discount over here, I do get them on
Country Club's about a 40 to 50% discount for an out-of-town member, but you gotta be 25 miles or over from the course.
Right.
Now, but their rates are exceptionally high. It's normally $300 to $400 a month to be a member there.
Right.
City Course and some others do that. Some do a discount of a 10, 15, 20%. Some do a separate rate. Some will give a discount if you're a new member instead of an out-of-town membership. It's just whatever, you know, that's just some options out there that other courses do.
Okay, thank you, Ernie. We have a motion and a second to approve 1426, bill number 1426. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderman Martin.
Aye.
Alderman Yarber.
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter.
Aye.
Alderman Terry.
Aye.
Okay, we will now have the second presentation and reading of bill number 1426.
Bill number 1426, ordinance number 1773, an ordinance amending Chapter 26, Park Board of the City of Ordinances for the City of Mountain View, Missouri.
Do we have a motion for the second reading?
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
Second that.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderman Martin.
Aye.
Alderman Yarber.
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter.
Aye.
Alderman Perry.
Aye.
Okay, I'm going to give the city clerk a few moments to catch up to make sure that she has the motions for first and second reading on all of these ordinances, please. And I want to ask you to repeat that, what you said about the out-of-town, so that,
Make a motion that we revisit this in March about the out-of-town discount,
and you are suggesting,
10% discount.
and that's over 25 miles?
Yes.
Okay. Let's give Jessica a few moments.
Miles, correct? 25
Yes.
miles. Okay.
All right, number 13 is a request from Mountain View Community Betterment,
Oh, excuse me. So Judy made a motion to,
bring back in March the issue of an out-of-town discount for
okay,
golfers.
so we're just making a motion. It doesn't need to be seconded.
Oh, well, let's do that by general consensus, that we will bring that issue back. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
Okay. We'll just do that by general consensus. Sorry about that. Stephen Sill is here to answer any questions that you have. In fact, I guess he can just start by explaining this. You've got the proposal in front of you.
So Betterment has, since we brought Betterment back, we've been trying to do things to spruce up the city. And one of the things that's been on Betterment's mind this whole time is replacing the Welcome City sign. They all need it. Right now, we want to focus on the main one on 60.
You're talking about the
The big billboard one?
billboard.
Yes. And part of that is putting a new sign up, which before we were to order anything, we would get approval from council first. The other part is to get rid of those plastic rails where they put the lettering up and people will go out there and write bad things. And we want to be able to use that space as, I call it sponsorship, but it's basically banners for different businesses in town that want to sponsor for the year, which pays for the sign, the upkeep, because that's what Betterment wants to do, is we want to put the new sign up. We want to do the upkeep, because they're vinyl signs and there's upkeep on them. And then, have a contract in place with you guys to where, basically, it's your sign still, but we maintain it, and we're able to put our sponsorship signs up. Now, there's a lot that goes into it. There is some maintenance that's needed, there's some rotted wood that needs to be replaced. And then, obviously, that sign is 8 by 20, it's massive. And then replacing that light with better light, more of a billboard style LED light instead of that light that's up there. It doesn't shine too well on it. Any questions?
One thing that Eddie and I have discussed and still has to be researched is that MoDOT has some requirements regarding signage.
So I
Some
would,
have to be inspected and some may or may not be in the right of way. So MoDOT will have to be involved in this.
and I told Eddie that I would gladly go talk to MoDOT and find out for sure. I know when I put my business sign up, if it was there in their easement, as long as it was movable, I could put it up. But there was no regulation, as long as it was under a certain size, like a billboard, you have to have permission. You have to have a permit for that. So I will confirm that 100%, I just wanted to bring it to you. Because we want to move forward with it before tourist season starts. And, like I said, there is more that we want to do, but I want to start here and just build that relationship with you guys. And we did get approval prior from the prior board, but you guys are a new board and we want new approval. And we want to move forward, and like I said, a contract would be amazing, and we wouldn't do anything without permission from you guys.
Of course, this would have to also go through the city attorney.
Correct.
So,
And Deidre's out at the moment, so I couldn't talk to her about it.
right, she will be here in March.
So,
So I guess you are asking permission from the board to update the large city sign. We would like to have an agreement with the city,
yes.
is what you're asking for
Yes.
tonight. So,
Could we not approve it tonight and then?
well, yeah. Yes, you can make a motion to approve, to have an agreement drawn up between the city and community betterment by the city attorney. And we'll bring that agreement back to the board to be approved.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Oh, I'll second that.
I was going to repeat it.
So we'd like to have a motion was made by Alderwoman Coulter to have an agreement drawn up between the community betterment and the city to put a sign out on the highway. You're welcome.
Discussion?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
All right. If they purchase new signs, you're gonna place gold sign, you guys gonna paint it, or you gonna get one of the?
We're gonna do a vinyl. We looked into painting it. The longevity of the vinyl, as long as it's maintained properly, which is just cleaning it and waxing it they say once a year, but I would probably do it every 6 months, because that's what I do with mine. And they're gonna last. And it's not gonna be every few years it's faded and we gotta do something about it. It's gonna be, 10, 15, 20 years before we actually have to, probably 10 years, to be honest, with the weather we get out here.
Is that what you're thinking?
That was just one of the ideas that we wanted to put on there, just to kind of give you an idea where our head is. Obviously, it'd be in color.
Oh, yeah, and it's kind of fuzzy, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can get it to print that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good picture, I think it's great, I really do,
Right.
but, okay. That's my only question.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Alderman Martin,
Aye.
Alderman Yarber,
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter,
Aye.
Alderman Perry.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night.
All right, next is the fire department extrication tool.
budgeted for $28,000 for equipment for the fire department. We talked about this particular tool at budget time, and Jason Tabor is here. If you have any questions regarding the bids or his recommendation.
Is this the same thing as a Jaws for Life, or
Yes.
did we not get one like in 21 or 22?
Please come to the podium for the video, audio.
They got a single combi tool in, it was 2018?
Speak into the mic, please, so it can be picked up.
I think 17, 18, somewhere in there. Yeah, there was a combi tool, battery-powered combi tool purchased in 2018. Was last records that we found. The combi tool works great. It's a lightweight model. Would work great for just popping a door open. It's not a heavy-duty set to replace a hydraulic set. The hydraulic sets that we have are, one is like a 96 model, the other's like a 2002 model. We were just kind of looking to replace one of those older hydraulic sets with a newer battery-powered set, just the new technology, which the combi tool is supposed to cut cardboard posts and spread doors open as a single tool, but the cutter on them does not work as well as a dedicated cutter. Dedicated cutter has a curved set of jaws, and a combi tool has a cutter like a pair of scissors. So if you were to take scissors to try to cut that, it wants to slip off. So therefore, we prefer the separate cutter and spreader tool rather than the combi tool. But this set would come with a battery-powered spreader, battery-powered cutter, and a battery-powered ram that has 4 different extensions to fit different vehicles. The ram would be used to place in doorposts and lift the dash off of someone. That's usually where they're pinned. And you have to cut the top off the car, get the doors off the car, cut the bottom, and spread the dash off. The reason most technology, most departments are going to the battery-powered tools is simply time. You carry a gas-powered engine hydraulic pump from a truck wherever you have to park to somewhere, versus the battery tool, you can jump out and grab it and go.
You spray a leak, you're done.
And you spray a leak, you're done, yeah. Being a volunteer department, we've showed up on many wrecks with 4 people. You immediately take 2 to do traffic. And it's tough for 1 or 2 guys to set the hydraulic equipment up. It really is.
Along with that time. So normally our extrication equipment takes 7 to 10 minutes to get set up and working properly. In our line of work, you look at what's called the golden hour. So our response time to any call is typically 8 to 9 minutes for us to get on scene. And then you add another 7 to 10 minutes to get that hydraulic set up and running. So that puts us at the 20-minute mark most of the time. If it's an extensive extrication, you're looking at 15 to 20 minutes plus to get that patient out of that vehicle and then loaded with EMS, who then has to meet a helicopter, which takes 25 to 30 minutes given on any day to fly to a Trauma 1 center. So we're already behind the 8 ball a lot of times when we show up to scene, and we've got what's typically called the golden hour, and we need to get them to a level 1 trauma center within 1 hour. A lot of your newer cars are now designed to crush in on top of themselves. It protects you better, however, it makes our job way more difficult because the type of extrications we're running into now are more extensive, they're taking more time, and we need more specialized tools for that.
I'm not trying to be rude here, But are you one of our first responders?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'm the resource officer. Sorry, my name is Mason.
Mason and Jason.
Another problem you'll run into is typically with our wrecks, you'll have 2-car MVAs. So if both cars are extensively damaged and we've got 3 to 4 people, 2 are gonna have to run traffic because we've got to keep the scene safe for our guys. And then we've only got 2 other guys and we've got to work 2 different vehicles at the same time. And with the hydraulic tools that we have now, it's typically a 2-person process. You can do it 1 person, but it's not going to be nearly as efficient as 2 people. And then if you've got 2 cars at the same time, you're almost out of resources at that point in time.
How long does these batteries last, Jason?
They'll have a 1-year warranty. That was one thing I did like about this set, was they used a common 20-volt battery. Honestly, I don't know what the entire life of them is, but they have the manufacturer's 1-year warranty on them.
And they are $9,800?
Yeah, what's the cost of replacing battery?
The replacement battery
Oh,
can
I
be,
see.
That's
Yeah,
just
the chain and just
Yeah.
those.
the replacement battery can be picked up at a Lowe's, Home Depot, online, anywhere for, I think they're $100.
I'm pulling it up now.
But what we're looking at here is the $27,800 that includes the cutter, spreader, chain package, RAM, 4 extensions, the RAM support, the batteries, and the charger.
They give me, when they bid this, they bid, like different packages.
3 option packages, but we're
Options. Like I
looking at
said,
the
the
middle.
9,800 is the
Okay.
combi tool.
That makes more sense.
Yes.
It was, it was.
No, it's not the
I
addition of all
highlighted-
3 of them,
right,
no.
I highlighted the 27.8, which actually, I got a verbal over the phone with him, I think I put it on your sheet, that if we would allow him to come demonstrate these tools to us, proper care, proper use, certain cutting techniques, he would knock another 1,000 off this.
You say money is budgeted for this?
Yes, 2,800, 28.
How much did you say?
28,000 is budgeted for equipment.
Where's he gonna demonstrate this at to you?
Fire station, I actually have a vehicle that we can use to cut up. You know, will be welcome to come see.
I just drive my own.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, then I ask for a motion to approve the purchase of this from Hoff Comp.
I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
All in favor? Or is there any further discussion?
What's everybody else using?
A lot of these tools, I've talked to several departments, many of them have the Genesis tool, but a lot of them have this particular tool. I do know, I personally got to go to Sykeston during a building inspector course, and their fire department uses these, and no one had
What
anything
did
bad
you
to say about
recommend?
them. Yeah. No one had anything bad to say about them.
How much of the new models going
The,
for?
the new models, when they come out, are gonna be 43,000.
And that's the cheaper
Yeah, they-
company.
Oh,
These are about 14.
we have a motion and a second. Let's quickly ask for approval before the price goes up any further.
Alderman Martin.
Aye.
Alderman Yarber.
Aye.
Alderwoman Coulter.
That was pretty good.
Aye. Alderman Perry.
Aye.
Frank, just went up.
Okay. Number 15, this is just a report, our Murmur Loss Control Program Evaluation Rating Form. We didn't do as good as we should have, and the Safety Committee Development and the Recommendation Compliance are the 2 areas that we fell short in, and we will be working on that. We don't have a safety committee development. we don't have a safety committee, documented safety committee anyway, which that we need to work on in conjunction with the employee manual. Then as far as the recommendation compliance, we had some kind of inspection from Murma back in July and had some recommendations that I believe are all scheduled. Most of it is the use zone, fall zone for the playground.
And some of, like I said, some of that had been addressed, but it seems like every time I extend the fall zone, they come back and say, nah, you need to go a little farther, you know, so well, it's something we're continually working on.
There is an issue regarding preschool age children and school age children. It's kind of hard to have the same limitations. And Murma is saying on climbing devices intended for offering an easy way out is particularly important on climbing devices intended for preschoolers, since their ability to descend climbing components emerges later than their ability to climb up the same components. We may have to restrict preschool age children on some of the devices that are really manufactured for school ages. Because there's a big difference between under 2 and 12. But I wanted you to see the report and any of the issues are being addressed.
Can I make a comment on this? I was out at the Veterans Park back in the summer, and I know it really needed mulch put under the swings. It was down to the bare ground. And we have to be careful out there. I got a call the other day, and I drove over there and found 4 syringes in our park,
Where at?
down by the bleachers. Down,
Oh, down in
and I guess this
But you're
lady
talking about
took her 2
Veterans Park.
kids, huh?
You're talking
Yes.
about Veterans Park, so
Yes.
it's down to the
Oh,
stage.
veterans, not stage, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we could make it work. This woman was really upset because she had 2 small kids, and they was probably down there playing on the benches. But anyway, they was down there. I went down there and disposed of them. But
And they just have to have a little bit more diligent,
looking over the park.
or more, especially over morning time after,
I've
in the morning before young children are brought into play.
Right.
been to plug it at the recycling center, we took care of.
I went down there. I don't know what was going on that day, but it wasn't going on when I went down there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a bunch of crock pots or something, I don't know. But yeah, no, it didn't look like that whenever I went down there.
And the roof shingles on the first one, at Wayside
Yeah,
Park.
that is scheduled, hasn't been done yet, but it's scheduled. Because that was part of the storm damage, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it was.
it was after the May storm, yes.
Yeah, it was shelter, they,
Okay. Any further questions on that? Then our last item is a proclamation for the Ronald McDonald House Week. I did proclaim the week of February 10th through February 16th, 2025 as Ronald McDonald House Week. That organization had reached out for a proclamation. McDonald's restaurants and various other locations began showing their support by asking customers to share their heart by donating $1, $5, or $20 to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of the Ozarks through a Share a Heart campaign. The Ronald McDonald House near Cox South and the House at Mercy Kids have served the needs of 1,195 Howe County families, 192 of which are residents of Mountain View. So everyone, please support the Ronald McDonald House. And I have just a few announcements. If you know of any of the city residents who received the recent survey, or not so recent survey sent out, CDBG had chosen random addresses in the city that this survey for the low to moderate income level. And that was sent to whichever of those addresses that CDBG chose. And we do need that response back because we lost our eligibility for CDBG grant funds due to the low to moderate income level. It has to be under 51%. Ours was at 47 and went to 64. So we need those responses returned. We have sent out an invitation to bid for the hay cutting at the airport and Y Highway property. Bid sheets are available at City Hall and will be accepted until Monday, March the 10th.
What was that bid for, I'm sorry?
Hay cutting
Oh, hey, Craig.
at
Well,
the
I had
airport.
two people ask about that. Do we advertise that anywhere on the hay cutting?
Yes, it's been sent to the newspaper, it's posted, specifications, sheets,
March 10th, that was,
March 10th, Monday, March the 10th.
It's the last day to apply.
Right, they need to come into City Hall and get the bid sheet and specifications. We received a timeline memorandum from the engineer Horner and Schifrin for the wastewater collection system improvement project. Assuming DNR comments and approval will be received in early February, the upcoming project timeline is as follows. Week of February the 10th, receive the comments. Week of February 24th, advertise for bids. Week of March 24th, open bids. That will have to be at the April meeting, so that will be pushed forward. Then mid-April, notice to award to contractor, and mid-May proceed to the contractor. So we are moving forward with the wastewater collection project. Any comments or questions?
Yes,
What's that?
April 8th is our meeting in April. And that's election day. How are we gonna do this?
Oh, well, we'll know by the March meeting and make an announcement.
I didn't realize that. I didn't even draw my attention.
Okay. All right. And we have received resignation from Scotty Elliott, the supervisor of the Water and Sewer Department. So we now have a posting, that position is open. And we were going to receive applications until 24th, I believe, March 24th. Okay, yes, March 24th. Okay, that's all that I have. I call for a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion?
Is there a second?
I'm second.
All in favor? Say aye.
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 I thought we weren't gonna get a second on that, Gary.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, I thought you'd said aye. I'm sorry.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.